Hello everybody, welcome back. Doing another deck tech today.
Magic!
Modern.
Indeed.
Yes. So, what do we have in front of us?
And this time we're doing my Fires of Invention list. So, Fires of Invention being the fun enchantment that kinda doubles your mana, but only lets you cast up to 2 spells and only on your turn. And so, of course we have the 4 copies of that, but we'll start over here. So we have 4 Serum Visions because
Vision.
we need a Fires of Invention, and so Serum Visions
Good way to
helps us find that.
Yeah.
We have 2 Oath of Nissa, because this card helps us find like our planeswalkers and also enough lands to get up to Fires of Invention. Can't find it itself, but it also kind of acts as a temporary stopgap for it too, since it allows us to cast our planeswalkers very easily.
Especially this guy. But
Yes.
you'll get there.
Then we have 4 Growth Spiral. This helps us skip straight from 2 to 4 on our next turn, so an early Fires, which is excellent. Then we have 3 Teferi. So this is, Teferi slows down our opponent by making sure that they only play on their turn too. And then it can, of course, bounce things or allow us to cast things on their turn, but you can't do that in most circumstances. So mostly he's there as like, he can answer some things, and he stops our opponent from slowing us down too. Then we have 2 Narset. This can find any non-creature spell, which is literally
Everything.
all the spells, including the ever important Fires of Invention. Then we have 4 Okos. He's
Oko.
He's Loco. Oko's Loco.
He makes a lot of elks. A lot of venison will be had.
Elks for days.
Yep.
For days. That's really what he does.
Yeah. And he goes up to do it.
And he goes up to do it. And then for 4-drop planeswalkers, we have 4 Jace the Mind Scluptor. He just helps us find cards. He can bounce things.
Yep.
He just...
I think that's honestly probably another one that doesn't need explaining.
Yeah.
It's dominated a lot of formats.
It's Jace, especially when like on turn 4 we can go Fires and a Jace. It's
Yeah.
just... It's a little silly.
That's just stupid. Yeah.
And then for 5-drop planeswalkers, we have our singleton Nicol Dragon God, who is not castable with our lands. But Fires doesn't care about that, and
Yeah.
Oath of Nissa lets us not care about that.
Technically, it's...
Yes, but this has to produce 2 different colors.
Oh, it
so
does?
we need literally 3 interplanar beacons. We need all of them to cast that.
Wow.
So, yeah. But he, of course, can beat any of the planeswalkers on our field or the enemy's field, and he also does like important things like killing things, drawing us cards,
Winning the game.
Yeah. Just
Small stuff.
Nicol things.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 Nissa Vital Force. So she helps us. She can turn our lands into creatures, which is helpful when we're not really using them to
One
cast
might even
spells.
say vital.
Yeah. She can return any permanent, which is all our other planeswalkers, or Fires if it gets destroyed. And she can -6 the turn after, and that turns all our land drops into card draw, which is important when once we've got enough lands.
Yeah.
It just helps us cycle through into actual spells. And then for spells, we of course have the 4 Fires of Invention, because it's the cornerstone of the deck. We have 3 Day of Judgment, because they're all the fancy style ones.
Yes.
And that was more important than having Wrath of Gods and
Of course, yeah.
Regeneration. And then 1 Supreme Verdict, because it's also shiny.
And it can't be
And
countered.
can't be countered.
Yeah.
A little harder to cast, but
Worth it, because it's shiny.
Because it's shiny. And then for lands, we have a weird collection of
Yeah,
things.
this looks like a literal just stack of cards that we found in the corner. Like, so many lands.
So for basics, we only have 2 islands, as we have a ton of double blue spells. So being able to cast those easier, and it like helps for this coming in untapped. So for the basics, we just have 2 regular islands. For fetch lands, we have 2 Windswept Heath, 2 Flooded Strand, and 2 Arid Mesa. Kind of spreads us around because we are 4 color.
Yeah.
Then for lands, we have a single Temple to Garden, a single Stomping Ground, Steam Vents, and Breeding Pool. Because while we need the red, having double white is important and having double blue is important. So these are the ones that kind of got shifted around and weren't as important.
And you only ever need 1 red. So.
Yes, and we only ever need 1 red in the whole deck. So We have 2 Hallowed Fountain. This provides both the white and the blue, which are the 2 important colors in the deck, so having extra copy of that is helpful. And 2 Sacred Foundry, because it still provides the white, but it also provides the red, and we need at least 1. So having it slightly likelier to find in the deck is helpful. And then our special lands, our Interplanar Beacons, of course.
Yes.
Provide 2 different colors and can only be used to cast planeswalkers, but pretty helpful. Also gains us a little bit of life as we cast our planeswalkers. Not always, as the life gain is the more important bit, because fires allows us to ignore this, but it does help us if we can't find fires for a few turns.
Yeah, and it's not completely dead later either, because you are casting these.
Yes, we are casting them, so it does gain us that little bit of life. 1 Desolate Lighthouse, because it draws a card, discards a card, so if we're just digging, and if we don't have any other use for our mana, may as well use a Desolate Lighthouse.
Don't want to crash into the rocks.
And then we have 2 Castle Vantress for a very similar reason, and the reason why we have the extra islands to help make sure it comes into untapped. This one, 4 mana and tap it to scry 2, which is very boring, but when we have no use for our mana,
exactly.
It's great. And then we have 4 Celestial Colonnade, again providing a white and a blue, but it being a ban land and us not having use for mana is just great.
Yeah.
4/4. Flying.
Can be a blocker.
Yeah, it can be a block. Yeah. It
can be both if you have a ton of mana.
We've got all our mana.
Yeah.
But definitely the best man land and providing both of our primary colors.
Certainly. All right. So, super excited to see this, and we'll see you next time.